Good morning, everyone. Beginning of day 11, leaving the shelter now. Logan was at the shelter, and so was Barn Cat Gary. We seem to all be kind of going around the same mileage and stopping the same shelters. Totally different speeds though. But it said that the shelter could sleep 6. Let me tell you, 3 was enough. That was too packed for me, for my liking, but it wasn't too cozy at least. We all had our space, but all getting started here this morning, about 11 miles to the NOC. The plan is to get down that big descent, probably eat some lunch or breakfast, depending when we get there. And then at least I'll start going up that ascent. I don't know what their plans are, but I'll start climbing that ascent later today, as long as the rain isn't too bad. It's raining now. It's supposed to keep on raining. So we'll see what happens, but unfortunately there's a couple of really cool views up here that I'm not going to get to see because it's all fogged over and raining. But that's okay. Get to see quite a few views in the last couple of days. Can't see them all, I guess. Just thankful that I have the opportunity to go through this. And just got a text from my fiance saying back home in that area, about 16 inches of snow. So I'd rather be in the rain in mild temperatures than in a foot or more snow. So wish everybody safety back there. And we're going to continue to go on here. Got a big climb of about 1,000. Not really a big climb. Small climb of about 1,000. And then a 4,900 foot descent. Yahoo! Here's a little lookout. Beautiful views from about 5,000 foot down. I don't know if you can see it as well as I can, but you can see about 15 feet in front of your face. Just imagine there's a great valley down there though, with beautiful rolling hills in the background. Beautiful, isn't it? A couple miles in today. Still rainy and foggy. Not a hard rain, but picks up a little bit every once in a while. It's mainly just a drizzle. I think I get more falling off the trees on me than I do from the actual clouds, and I don't mind that. I could keep up, and I'll just keep going and going and going today, but I don't want any hard rains because when everything gets wet, it's miserable. At least it doesn't get too cold at night, but still. This is the view of what I'm seeing right now. As you can see, very foggy, going uphill right now. Having a great time out here though. Rain, fog, sunshine, beautiful views. It doesn't matter. I'm loving it. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. It's raining, but there's no snoring. But funny thing, I've been told by 2 different people out here that there's been at least 3 nights that I've snored when I slept. I don't snore. So I don't know what's going on. The woods and the forest does funny things to you, so I don't know if it's just maybe I felt like the sleeping bag around my head or something made me snore, like trying to catch my air. I don't know, but I just thought I'd fill you in on that. But I do not snore, so if you see me in camp and I'm snoring, it's not me, it's my other twin. I was something else for some reason that came up this morning, that Logan and Bearcat and me are all Geminis. No wonder we all get along so good together. Geminis understand each other. We're just all crazy.
This looks pretty eerie.
Here's a little break in the fog and the trees. You can kind of see a little bit of a view. Really nice. So this is the hill. Just came down. Pretty steep decline right now. Still going down. And this isn't even the descent into NOC yet. This is a dip before it goes up again to Wesser Bald, which is another observation deck tower type of thing, which I'm hoping this fog is gone by the time I get there, because I would love to be able to see the view, because it'll probably be another like 360 view. Even if there's no sun out, it'll still be a nice view as long as the fog and clouds isn't in the way. So this dips down, like I said, then goes up about 800 or 900 to that. And then once you're up to Westerbald, then it's several thousand feet descent into the NOC in just a few miles. So, carrying on, looking at the mist. It's not raining at the moment, but that fog is obviously still very damp and humid out here. So, hopefully the rain will hold off, and hopefully we won't have too much rain this afternoon. As I continue on out of the NOC after hopefully getting a really nice big brunch. Looking forward to that. This is Talico Gap, which is the last gap going up this last big push before it starts getting the decline into the NOC. You can see a little bit of mountains on both sides, but those towers are also in the way. I mean, I guess we all need power, but they're annoying. All right, time to go up this last push. Love the way those trees look. Foggy hills, top of the mountains there, which makes me think I'm going to be walking into fog at the top of Wesser Bald up here. Hoping not. Hoping I get to see some really cool views from the tower or observation deck, whatever it is at the top of the Bald. But we shall see what we shall see. So I just noticed, I looked, looking at my navigation and seeing how far I was from the top of this Westerwald. That last outlook I showed you where the fog had cleared away a little and you could see some of the mountains in the distance, that was actually at the top of a summit. And I didn't even realize it, but now it makes sense of why it went up. And then it went way down in a steep way, and then it's going up again for Westerwald. So before I get to Westerwald, let me say, Rocky Bald is in the bag. think this is pointless, going up here to the top where this tower is when it's so foggy and closed in. But I'm not technically on the top until I'm here. The tower. I'm not going to climb the tower because I just want to keep on going. But here I am on the top of West Bald. You can't see anything except that bird. But imagine those views are beautiful. And West Bald is in the bag. And now the big descent starts. 6.5 miles to the NOC, 3,400 feet of descension, about 500 of ascension. So I don't know if that all comes at one time or if it's just scattered throughout that 6.5 miles, but it could get pretty steep from what I've seen on the map. Even if it was spread evenly, that's 500 to 600 feet per mile, so that's a pretty steep drop. Could be rough on the legs and the knees, but I understand there's a lot of rocks and stuff involved too, and it's raining and wet, so might be a slow go. Really looking forward though to getting down and having a nice brunch, some calories, and kind of figuring out the weather and what I'm going to do from there, how much further I'll go, and so forth. So I thank you for traveling on Air Fortune today, but we are coming to our descent into the NOC. Please fasten your seatbelts and hold on for the ride. Kind of stinks. Just came up there. Nice little burst, couple hundred feet, but there's drop-offs on this side and on this side, all the way up that little thing. But you can't see anything, but you could tell that it just goes all the, well, I don't know about all the way down, but way down. There would be some epic views right there, but man, this fog kind of stinks because it looks like there's a lot of good views coming into the NOC. So again, I'm going up right now. This is kind of where that 400 feet, 500 feet of elevation was. Went down a little bit, like 300 or 400. Now it's raising up 300, 400, 500. But there's a couple really nice viewpoints here that we're not going to get to see. And then it starts going down. So hopefully when it starts going down, the fog will start going away and get a couple good views coming into the NOC. It is frustrating when you're locked in with fog. I mean, I love fog. I love everything about nature, no matter what it looks like. Storms, the rain, the snow, the sun. I prefer not to hike in too much snow, but we all have our preferences. But at the end of the day, I love it all. It's the battle, it's the journey, taking what Mother Nature gives you. But it's still kind of frustrating when there's all kinds of views, and you know there is, like right there. You just tell there's some epic views right there, but we can't see it. Hopefully here in a little bit. So hiker hunger never really left me since I got off the PCT in October. So it's pretty severe on me all the time. Always starving, to feel like. I'm here daydreaming, just like I always do when I'm getting ready to cross into a town, about the food that I'm going to eat or can eat or want to eat. And for some reason, even though I'm going to get there around lunchtime, I just really, really want a good breakfast. And what I'm daydreaming about, and I'm hoping they have it, I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I don't really know anything about this restaurant, but I'm hoping to get like a ground beef patty or a chopped steak, even better. Some bacon, lots of bacon, some hash browns, 2 or 3 eggs, some biscuits and gravy, and maybe some sourdough toast with some coffee and juice. And I'll start with that. And if I'm still hungry, then maybe I'll get some lunch items. I hope I could get all those items there though. And that will get me a good energy to continue on, if I'm going to continue on today, depending on the weather. Because coming out of NOC is all ascent, straight up, climbing up all the stuff I just climbed down. Except on the other side. So, we'll see what happens, but man, I'm daydreaming about everything. I'm daydreaming about lunch food too, but I probably won't be eating lunch here. I might get a lunch item or something if I'm still hungry after breakfast, but if I could find all those items, I'm pretty sure that'll satisfy me and then beyond. So keep your, well, by the time you see this video, I will have already eaten. So I was going to say, keep your fingers crossed, but by the time you see this video, it will be over and I will be satisfied, hopefully. Well, that stinks. Here I am at the top of this little viewpoint, and this is the trail. And as you can see, going off this way and that way are these huge drop-offs, which would make for some epic views. But it's so fogged in, you can't see it. And that kind of blows because the trail goes right along it here for a little bit. I bet it's beautiful. We are definitely going down now. I can feel gravity pushing me from behind. Or maybe that's just gravity pulling me and my backpack pushing me. Whatever the scientific way to say that is. This is pretty cruisy here, but just went down a few boulders. Smaller boulders, not scrambling or anything, just, you know, big steps. So it looks like the real descent has begun. Looks like 1,000 of it here in the next like mile and 3/4. So we're going to start going down pretty quickly. Hopefully some views will open up. From right there, it just looks like the trail ends into the abyss. You'd have really good views from both sides and straight on here. For sure. Being really careful here because it's a little slippery. But I wanted to show you these views. Yeah. Beautiful, isn't it? It is beautiful even though it's fog, but it's still beautiful. Nice little drop off. Looks like it goes here. Follow the leaf. And it looks like it comes down here and it looks like down there is where the trail goes. So I get to go through some rocks there, but yeah, you come right along the edge. That's the first time I've seen that so far in the Appalachian Trail. If that fog wasn't there, you'd really get the full effect because it looks like it's pretty straight out. I see some trees out there, probably a good 50 or 100 feet down, but it looks like pretty good drop off besides that. A little slippery, not too bad. Been on slipperier, but still want to be careful. Don't want to fall down the descent here. I'd say this is probably about a 20% grade, if I was to guess. The leaves aren't too bad, but they can be slippery too sometimes. Then it kind of frees up more into a dirt trail. It's funny how it feels like the backpack starts pushing you down right here. All right, it's just going to be more and same of this. It looks like switching back for a little while. Just came down that boulder up there, which is about my height. Coming down these rocks. Then it, again, opens up a little bit. Help if I pointed at the trail. Still going down, but yeah, I wanted to record that up there, but I was having to use my hands going on that big one. Do a little hand over foot or whatever you call that. I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure, but foot over hand. I don't know. wanted to obviously make sure you have a good secure grip when it's wet. But going to have a lot of this come up in the northeast. New Hampshire and Maine, a lot of rocks and bouldering and stuff like that. I will admit that is my weakest point. And I found that out on Mount St. Helens last year when I did that one. Because it took me longer going down than it did coming up. It's about 2 miles of boulder fields. Actually, a lot of people that have done both say Mount St. Helens trail into the summit there is a lot like Katahdin. You have like an easier part of the trail than a huge boulder field, and then you're just kind of like climbing up straight up sand, so you're taking 1 foot forward, 2 steps back. It's a tough one physically going up, but coming down for someone like me who's, that's his weakest point, is climbing those boulders. Well, climbing down boulders is even tougher. So I'm sure by the time I get to New Hampshire and Maine, I'm going to have a lot of practice and get stronger and better at it. It'll still probably be my weakest point, but I fight through it no matter what. Like I did when I summited St. Helens last year. It was tough. Still, probably the toughest one I've done. Even tougher than Mount Whitney, which was 14,500. That had its moments of scariness. Mount St. Helens wasn't really scary. It was never on the edge of anything, like straight drop-offs or anything. But just physically draining. I used parts of my upper body that I didn't even know had muscles. But I'm going to have a lot of that in the Northeast, so I'm looking forward to it. Different challenges, different terrain, different weather. The Appalachian Trail giving me its best, and I'm going to give it my best every day. Those trees are so beautiful. Looks like I finally got below the fog here. Funny thing is, I still have another 2,000 feet to descend. I think it's down about 1,700 by the time I'm done. And is up to at least 5, maybe a little over 5 earlier today. So a lot of descension for sure. And then have to climb right back up it, and here in about, 25, 30 miles, going to be starting to climb up to the 6,000s going into the Smokies. So a lot of climbing over the next couple days. And this descension, got to go down sometimes. You can't just keep climbing up all the time, or you end up in the sky up where the airplanes fly, which I did last year, but not on this trail. This trail, the top one is about 6,700, and I'm going to be crossing that one in a few days. Clingman's Dome in the Smokies. But looking better views here. I mean, if you want to call them views of the forest, views of the trail, nice and crisp and clear. But still another couple thousand more to go, about 3.5 miles. All right, let's keep going towards that meal. Way down there something, I don't know if that's the NOC or not, still more than a couple miles away, but that might be by the time it winds down to it. But those mountains look cool, so I'm probably going to be going up those mountains coming out of the NOC. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. My first fall of the Appalachian Trail. I went to put my foot there, right here, and it slid. I caught myself on my other foot here, but then it slid, and then my pole slid. It didn't hurt at all. I think I fell like a total of 6 inches. Just, woohoo! Hard getting back up though. I wish you all could have seen it. It was very graceful. Basically slid down on my butt. I was kind of squatting going down the rocks anyway, I guess. And slid a little bit and just didn't catch myself with the other foot and just took a seat basically. About 1.3 more miles to go to the NOC intersection. 780 feet of descension to go. Nice little view here. And there's the NOC. You can see people rafting out there. It's a rafter's paradise, from what I understand. And somebody yelling at all of them, maybe teaching them or something. And I can almost smell food. Time to eat some grub. That's me.